Vibe Show 97.9, home of the hottest music and the most exclusive guest on the planet. But I mean, y'all already know that already. It's the Vibe Show 97.9, and I have something special for y'all. This is long awaited right here. I'm excited. Y'all excited. Y'all stay tuned and keep it locked.
Let's go! Let's go! New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting aside?
Vibe Show 97.9, home of the hottest music and the most exclusive guest on the planet. And tonight, I have a treat for y'all. I got something special for y'all. I'm always working, trying to make these magical things happen, and I pull it off yet again. I'm talking about, I got so many emails in when this promo went up. I mean, it's insane. Might be the most we've ever had. This queen is loved by so many different people, including myself. I'm not gonna lie here now. She is amazing and have done so many different amazing things out here in this world, with blessing us with her talents and her gifts and her beautiful voice. I'm talking about CEO, Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, music producer, the very beautiful Wendy Starland. What's up?
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, for me and the entire team, we just want to thank you so much for allowing us this amazing opportunity just to come on the Vibe Show and hang out with us for a little while.
I'm a big fan of the Vibe Show and of yours, and I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So let's jump it off with your day. How have your day been thus far?
It's been quite a day.
Oh,
It's a
really?
good day. It's a good day. You know,
Right.
I'm so excited that my new single just dropped recently
yeah. Oh
called
my
The Finish
God.
Line.
Yes.
So happy about that. And, you know, it's a song from the heart, and we've got some incredible responses to it already. So I'm so excited about it. I just performed it at a great event at the Winslavin Galleries for Daniel Wynn, who's a very famous artist, and he unveiled these new statues, and it was broadcast for a TV show that I'm going to be on. So there's lots to talk about today. Really exciting stuff.
Right. Wow. Congratulations on all the continued success.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. Now let's jump in old time machine. I'm Doc Brown, you Marty, and we're gonna go back a little bit. Now you're originally from Los Angeles.
No, I'm originally from New York City, actually, and I moved out to Los Angeles in 2008.
Okay, cool. Now that's great right there. Let's start right there, because transitioning from New York to LA, can we talk about like what that experience is? Because I mean, those two worlds have some similarities, but at the same time, I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, two absolutely totally different worlds.
Totally different worlds. I mean, I am such a New Yorker, straight shooter. Will be New Yorker till the day I die. I'm a very straight shooter, and moving out to LA, although the lifestyle in LA, you can't beat it. Sunshine and the palm trees, and it's also the epicenter of the music business and the entertainment industry. So there's so many opportunities here for all kind, you know, whether it's, you know, music as an album, music in film, music in television, you know, developing other artists out here. The community is incredible in Los Angeles, and in New York City it is as well. But it's a different kind of hustle, and the people in New York are, what I love most about them is there's such an authenticity about them.
Right.
This kind of sincerity and drive that you're not going to find anywhere else in the world, as far as I'm concerned. I'm I'm not exactly the most objective when it comes to New York City. I'm a little biased, but I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong. You got to rep. You got to rep home. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like what you're saying is anything's not. There's no truth to that because I mean, everybody knows New York, and everybody want to come to New York, and it's just it's another magical place, and so many different amazing entertainers and stars, and so
Yeah.
many different people home from there as well. Now it's interesting because like you do so much. You wear so many hats. I just want to know like has that always been the lane for you as far as getting into the entertainment business? Has that always been like maybe a childhood dream, or like what kind of steered the direction of actually getting into the business or wanting to get into the business to actually make a career out of it?
Well, this is such an awesome question that actually no one has ever asked me how all of these different hats kind of played out in my life. So I'm so happy you asked it because it's basically as soon as you understand, being a New Yorker and being super ambitious, I am also a bit of a perfectionist.
Right.
And with that comes when you have to rely on other people for various jobs and you maybe disagree with their opinion or you don't think that they're doing a fantastic job for you because for
Right.
them it's a job and for you it's your career, then
Right.
you decide, you know what? I've got to learn how to do this so I can make it better. So, I first started off as, a songwriter and singing and songwriting. I've been singing since I was 2. I've been songwriting since I was 7. I had a babysitter from down south who was a big gospel singer in the choir, and she taught me how to sing as soon as I could speak.
Oh
And
wow.
who I still keep in touch with. She's like a second mother to me, Rosetta Atkins, and she
Oh
is
wow.
incredible. And my father played classical piano, and I learned a lot of the melodic kind of jumps that will kind of stick in your head from that. And my uncle was a rocker who performed with people like Bruce Springsteen and the Allman Brothers and Black Sabbath. So I had all of these different musical influences happening, and compiling them together to form my own voice is what I wanted to do. And so by the time I was eventually discovered by Maceo Parker, who I don't know
Ooh,
if
these names are just colossal.
well, not everybody even knows who Maceo is, but for those who may not know who Maceo is, when James Brown went solo, his band stayed intact, and Maceo Parker, who is the lead saxophone player, became the lead singer, who sounds a lot like James Brown, and
Right.
went on to have a hugely successful career, and pulled me out. I was hopping around from club to club with my fake ID when I was 14 years old, and one of those New York City kids who
Right.
thinks
Right.
they're 25.
Invincible. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And he pulled me out of the crowd and pulled me up on stage, and I ended up scatting on his stage for 20 minutes.
Wow.
And it was the beginning of my career as a singer. And after that, a lot of other incredible opportunities came for me, mainly because I was able to take that, and producers wanted to start working with me. And so I did, and we'd go into the studio. I was lucky enough to work with Gary Lyons, who's the producer of the Rolling Stones and Aerosmith, and incredible.
I just love how you just roll these names off. Like, yeah, I work with this person. That I mean, these are huge names, Wendy.
Oh, thank you. Well, listen, it's they're not my accomplishments; they're their accomplishments. I'm just so lucky that I had the privilege of working with these people, and through watching them and studying them, and saying, you know what, some of these decisions I like, some of these decisions I would want to change the musical landscape of this song or this album, let me buy my own equipment. I saved up, I bought my own equipment, and I taught myself how to use it. And so all of a sudden I became a producer. And one day my equipment broke down, and the guy who came over to fix it was a guy named Danger Mental. And he's like, wow, you did this stuff? I said, yeah. He goes, how would you like to sing on a record? I said, let's do it. So here this guy who was just coming to help save me, with my equipment, ended up giving me my first break onto an album. And he took me to Staten Island, where my first album was the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, wait a
So
minute.
I walk into this studio. I am an 18-year-old kid. These guys are huge. They're drinking Courvoisier. They've got, drinking, they're smoking, they're doing all kinds of stuff. And they're like, sing this. I said, I'll sing it, but I don't think that's a hit. Like,
wow, you did that?
I mean, I am like this cocky little 18-year-old kid. Thinks she knows it all. Been writing songs since she was 7. So, and ended up, they're like, if you think you could do better, go try. So I go into the back for 20 minutes and I rewrite the whole song. I rearrange the whole song structure. I come up with a whole new chorus, everything. I record it. The producer who brought me there is like ready to kill me.
What are you doing?
You were here to sing. What are you doing? Anyway, long story short, I played it for them. They loved it. I ended up writing at least 20 songs, 20, 30 songs for the Wu-Tang Clan. And that was my first, real gig in the music business. And so all of a sudden I was a songwriter, as a professional songwriter, and singing on all these records. So here's singing, songwriting, producing. So I'm giving you a kind of a journey into how all of these hats, these many hats, came about. It came out of necessity, because I'm a perfectionist and I want, any project I want to be the best that I think it can be. So if someone needs help with songwriting, I want to improve the songwriting. If they want to be great at, any help with production, any help with singing, I want to be there to elevate it to its highest possible place.
Right. That is just like, I'm just sitting here mind blown right now. Let me ask you this though. Hearing you say that though, and having that mentality at a young age back then, do you feel like presently, do you, just looking back at that time, you probably haven't even thought about it or whatever, but do you think that having that type of fearlessness, getting into the entertainment business or trying to get into the entertainment business, you think that's what's needed in order to really excel in this business?
I think that most people who try to enter the music business they're automatically pretty fearless, because it is trying to attempt one of the most difficult things, one of the most soul-crushing things. Even if you're successful in the entertainment industry, it is soul-crushing, the people that you meet along the way, the experiences you have to go through. I have battle wounds all over me right now from the amount of difficulty that you have to overcome, but overcoming it is exactly why the people at the top are at the top. And it's not just talent. If you just have talent, you'll be thrown to the wayside. If you just have ambition, you'll be thrown to the wayside. You need a combination of, people skills to be able to communicate well and effectively with people, to move through situations that are going to be difficult, with a lot of people with very strong opinions and loud voices, to make sure that you're listening to what they say, and you have to gracefully navigate. And so that fearlessness is inbred in all people who strive to make it in the music business. I don't think I'm any exception to the rule.
Right. Because you know how it is in this business. It's a lot of letdowns in this business as well too, and it takes. I just feel like in some instances, I feel like people like yourself, who's gotten to this level that and like you said, you have war wounds all over. Pretty sure it was a lot of letdowns, a lot of no's, a lot of doors slammed, or whatever. I think that going through those experiences, to me, I feel like those are the ones that's the most successful in the business. Because I just feel like you can't skip steps. I
You
think,
can't.
you know what I mean? Would you
Yeah,
agree?
I couldn't agree with you more. There is no shortcut. I mean, there may be some lucky breaks, just like the one I described, where here my equipment broke down and
Right.
it actually gave me the break for my first, record.
Right.
So there are some lucky breaks, or just like with Maceo Parker, that I got pulled out of a crowd when I'm a 14-year-old kid, underage, shouldn't even be in the club to begin with,
Right.
let alone get, that was ended up being written up in all the newspapers the next day, which is how I got my gigs for years after that, because everyone had read about it in the papers. So it's a combination of luck and hustle and talent, and like you said, fearlessness and perseverance to keep going under any circumstance.
Right. With being because you know it seems just from doing research and seeing a lot of documentaries and because I'm a fan of the business and a fan of so many different entertainers, whether it's singers, actors, whatever. I adore the stories. I think more than anything, the journey. Um, I study that, and with being and you can't help the way God designed you. I mean, you're beautiful.
Oh, thank
Um,
you. Thanks for
you
saying that.
know, you can't help that. But, in this business, some would veer that as would you think would you say it brings on more challenges with being beautiful, because it's with it being sort of a male dominated business. Would you say that it does get a little bit more difficult with being beautiful and all of that, with not being more respected, I guess, after you earn your stripes or whatever, but being more respected in that regard for your skill set, and things that you really could bring to the table, as opposed to just being beautiful and all of this stuff or whatever?
Well, the good news is that there are some uh, standard or definitive things in the music business.
Right.
Um, if you look at all of the top singers and celebrities, they're all beautiful. 99.9% of them are all beautiful.
Absolutely.
And so you've got to earn your stripes. And will there be challenges from the way you look in any profession? Absolutely.
Right.
And luckily, earning my stripes came very early
Yeah.
from these experiences, because I gained respect as a songwriter, and as before anyone was necessarily before I was even trying to do my own deals. People were bringing me in first as a session singer, just based sheerly on my talent, and as a songwriter, me kind of flexing that skill of mine and saying, "Hey guys, you may think you have a hit here, but why don't you try it like this and see whether or not that does well for you?" And there's always going to be adversity and challenges. I can't tell you When I discovered and developed Lady Gaga from scratch, how many people were, telling me, "Oh, Wendy, you're crazy. This is never going to work." Blah, blah, blah. I said, well, the good news is we'll wait and see. And a lot of those people have lost their jobs because they didn't sign Lady Gaga the way they were supposed to. And the people who, took a chance and saw a unique vision that was outside the box basically were handsomely rewarded. And so you're always going to have to fight to get your point across, no matter how you look. And there will always be challenges that come with that either way. Being a woman in general, there are certain, there's always going to be, listen, there was the whole, in the news, there was the whole thing about the Me Too movement and whatnot. It's certainly not only in the music industry. Absolutely. It exists everywhere. And most of the people, in my opinion, who had gone through it with the worst, weren't necessarily shouting Me Too because they didn't want to relive those experiences or be associated with those experiences because it was painful. It was painful for them. Right. So I think it will always exist. I think that movement actually did mitigate a lot of the difficulty that women go through. Does it still exist? Of course it does. But, Rome wasn't built in a day. And if we're making progress, then I'm happy about it,
Right. Thank you so much for touching on it. Because I always try to, when I have people on like yourself, I always try to share information for the young, inspiring artists or in people that, aspiring to get in this business or whatever, and what better people to hear it from than people like yourself who've been in the game, who have achieved and been through a lot of things or whatever, and can actually share it from an experienced place. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now with I can't just run past the Lady Gaga thing because discovering Lady Gaga, we just can't just say that lightly. And we just kind of touch the rim on because you got to have a certain type of vision. And like you said, a lot of people was like, no, whatever, that's not going to work or whatever. But you didn't. You saw that. What would you say it was that you actually saw? Was it just her being an amazing singer, or was it something else that you saw was like, this person is a star?
It is absolutely that her presence was the biggest part of it. She does have this incredible star quality to her long before anyone knew who she was. When I met her, I actually didn't even realize she was a singer because I met her when I was shopping with my manager for a publishing deal at Famous Music Publishing, and she was working there with, for the CEO, Irwin Robinson. And so then fast forward, some time later, I was performing at the Cutting Room in New York City, and she was performing on the same bill, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know if you remember me from Irwin Robinson's office." And obviously if you're in an office, you don't realize if someone's a singer or not. And so it was a very incredible thing. She said, "I'd love it if you checked out my show tonight." I said, "Of course." And simultaneously, I had been working with a producer, creating songs for an artist that we wanted to develop together. And I was out looking for a girl under the age of 25 who could be the female equivalent to the lead singer of The Strokes, who was edgy and bold, and you couldn't take your eyes off of her. And if we were able to, if I was able to find her and, bring her back and sign her and develop her. Then if we were getting a record deal, and if they released the record, and if it made any money, then we would, go ahead and split it up. And basically, that's exactly what happened. I grabbed her after her performance. I told her that, she had huge balls. She absolutely had this gutsy quality about her instantly that just drew me to her. And she was singing to the, we were only playing to like probably 300 to 500 people tops, and she was singing at the back of the stadium as if she was, performing in Madison Square Garden. And that confidence, that presence is the only word to really describe how powerful it is. And
how does that make you feel? Because you've worked with so many different amazing artists and have seen them go on to do great things. How does that make you feel inside? And as a person, just knowing that you contributed to helping somebody propel their dreams and help it fully manifest, because you don't really get that all the time. You know what I mean? It's hard.
Yeah. I mean, listen, in life, we're lucky if we succeed a handful of times.
Right?
To have succeeded on this level is something, it was beyond my wildest dreams. Clearly, when we were, writing those songs and producing and coming up with the ideas and the outfits and the deals. I mean, we were all there as a team. We were building this brand brick by brick. Right. And to see that become a household name, a worldwide brand that will go down in history, is something that I will forever be so proud and feel so grateful to have been the first domino that created that effect in that chain of circumstances. So it's a group effort. Nobody does it alone. For every Lady Gaga there, or celebrity, whether it's Katy Perry or whoever it is, Billie Eilish, there's always a team around who is. It takes an army. It takes a village to create that kind of momentum for someone, because let's face it, I'm certainly not good at everything. I don't know one person who can do it all, but you can try your best. And the most important thing is to know what you're not good at, so that you can fill in those gaps with the people who are experts in those areas. And I think as a team, we collectively did an incredible job of that with Lady Gaga.
And I admire and respect the humbleness of it all. But at the same time, though, Wendy, like, everybody really don't get that opportunity just to experience it, just your personal experience, just to be able to be connected to not just Lady Gaga, but to experience all of these amazing experiences, to live this. It's gotta be a different type of feeling. Like, have you ever just took a moment? Because I know you're always moving and things are moving fast, and we got this deal, we got a lot of things going on, but like, have you ever just really took the time to just sit back and just reflect on how far you've come and all of the amazing things that you have accomplished and all of the amazing ways that you have blessed so many people by just being a good person and really wanting to, because there's a lot of snakes in the business as well. A lot of people, had great careers who, may have got screwed out of money or anything. But I mean, like, you are a part of something different, who actually wholeheartedly help people. Like, do you ever sit back and reflect on that sometimes and just like, wow?
Well, first of all, before we go any further, thank you. Thank you for even saying that. I'm so grateful to you for acknowledging me and for making me feel so seen. I really, really appreciate you. So
Mhm.
thank you. I really felt that. So thank you. Do I sit back and think about it? No, I don't. I literally am feel like I haven't shown myself um, or the world all the things that I can do. And I feel like the best is yet to come. And some of the things that I'm working on right now are the things I am most excited about. And and I keep striving because only fools are satisfied. So,
Yeah.
but I so appreciate you wanting me to sit back and think about all of these things because it is important to celebrate each accomplishment. I was talking the other day and I was saying, after you graduate from school, for example, or you're going from one grade to the next, or you're graduating, when are the celebrations in life? How do
Oh,
you demarcate each
right,
point in
right,
which you are progressing? And it's maybe this moment right now where you're saying, Wendy, sit back and think about it. And so
right.
I'm grateful to you for giving me that moment of pause. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Because, I say that because, still being blessed to still be here um, on this day at, this moment in time. I just think that a lot of people who achieve a lot of success and do a lot of amazing things, I just think that, we're always on the path of trying to continue that success and to continue to accomplish more and more and more, that we really don't take the time to self celebrate sometimes and enjoy the wins. Um, you know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
once it's over with, it's too late to do that. Then at that point,
Yeah.
it's just too late.
So, well, thank you. Thank you for keeping me in the moment.
Yeah,
I appreciate
of course. I mean, I just that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show. Like I said, I've been trying to get you on the show since I first was introduced to your platform. Um, because the world is not that big, but at the same time, it's big enough to never run across each other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
once I was blessed to be connected with you by being connected through somebody else, and we just so happened to like the same post. That's actually how I was introduced to your platform. And of course, the strikingness, I'm gonna go and check it out. And then when I go over there, I'm like, wow, like she's done some amazing things. And then I do more research and I'm like, wow, she's really a powerhouse. Like she's really somebody, not just another pretty face, but she has really done some amazing things in this business. You know what I
Thank
mean? In the world. So I just was going to go out of my way to try to make this magic happen because it meant something to me to be able to
you.
connect, to celebrate you on the Vibe Show because we appreciate everything that you're blessing us with. So thank
Oh,
you for that.
I
Now,
appreciate you.
absolutely. Now, from the songwriting aspect, I always try to tap into that because I think that it is a special gift to be able to write something for somebody else that turns out to be amazing. Can
Yeah.
we talk about like maybe the process for you, or maybe it's just a God given organic process, or what is the process with being a songwriter for others? Like, can we kind of or can we talk about like the process possibly? Like, oh yeah, you know what? This is a dope song. This will be great for such and such. Like, how does that work for inspiring writers?
What I think, I mean, the fact that I had these incredible influences. It started there because I started so early, much earlier than most people.
Right.
To start writing at 7, most people started, 12, 13, 14. I'd already been writing for years at that point. And so practice makes perfect. But I also had a very classical songwriting structure that I adhered to throughout my life. And because I had those roots in all of these different, whether it would be classical music, rock music, gospel music, R&B, soul, funk, all of these, all of the knowledge from these various genres, I was able to collect sort of the information and be able to say, okay, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. Let me take these kinds of melodies and fit it into a format that can be digestible to the radio. Now, if you want to be on the radio, you've got to be from 3 minutes to 3.5 minutes for your song. That's, there is a radio format. The chorus has to hit at a certain time, but the songs that are always the deepest, they flow through you, and you're a conduit from something greater. I don't know, what everyone believes, the universe, God, whatever it is, but you are a conduit for something greater than yourself. And for me, for example, my latest song, The Finish Line, which
I love that song.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really excited about it.
It's deep. Man.
Thank you. I co-wrote that song with Sal Aurora and Danny Byrne, who are incredible songwriters and very, very talented, both of them. And basically, it flew out, the song. I mean, when I tell you like this, we sat down to write. We didn't even know we were going to be writing in the studio that night, and it flew out like.
Really? So this was just written off pure organic energy.
Complete organic energy.
God, wow.
And then it was just, lyrically, it was just, heart on your sleeve type of messages. And I think that ultimately that's really what it's about. That kind of authenticity and sincerity is what's going to resonate with your audience and connecting with them in the most powerful way, because ultimately we're all human. We all experience and want the same things in life when it comes down to basic needs. We all want love. We all want to be, cherished and appreciated for who we are. We want to be able to give that freely. And talking about relationships and the evolution of relationships. And when you're talking about those types of things in a song, you're usually going to reflect that out to your audience in a way that it will hit home. And I feel that The Finish Line does that.
Right. Now, and I totally agree with you, because I feel like we're in a space to where I feel like it's being at times pushed a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Because, you've been in this entertainment business, So I feel like whenever pieces are created like this, it's always going to be in a lane of its own, because the world is in this weird space right now, to where when you hear songs like that, and I think that's why it hit me a certain type of way, because those type of organic songs with that real subject matter in it, it's just going to hit automatically. So, and the way that the music was put together along with the lyrics or whatever definitely hit home for me. So congratulations to all of you guys for creating such a necessary piece, I feel like, when you hear music like that. And it's definitely a proud moment, definitely something to be proud of, because like in this time, 2021, to create a song like that, I feel like was just totally needed right now.
Thank you again. You're so you're really tapped in, and I feel everything you're saying I really appreciate, because during a pandemic, I felt like we were faced with ourselves. All of a sudden, all the distractions going from here to here, and this event and this place, and you're faced with yourself. You're like, guess what, everybody? You're quarantined. All your big plans, nada. It's not happening. I had, 12 deaths during 2020 to 2021.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I'm sorry to have experienced it, but what I was super reflective during it. I was faced with my relationships, my priorities, what's important, how, who's giving back to me in the way that I'm giving out my energy, and a song like this, which is so close to my heart and very revealing, is something that is very, is, like you said, just very appropriate for a time where the whole world has been reflective.
Absolutely.
And we did it together as one. And there is a sort of beauty that came from watching us all collectively help each other in a way that, at least as long as I've been alive, the only other time where I personally experienced that kind of collective energy was in 9/11, when I was in New York City, where I experienced a lot of tragedy there too. But this was worldwide. This wasn't just in my hometown. This was something where we all had to pause, stop, change our lives, and look at the components that are putting that together. The people, the places, how you're spending your time, how you're spending your money, how you're how you're interacting with the people in your life, and so it's a beautiful and revealing process.
Yes, it is. It is. Let me ask you this: does it get easier when you've been in the business for a while? You've created and done a lot of amazing things or whatever. Does it ever get to a point to where you get numb to it, or do you have to find inspirations from new experiences, or out of the box experiences, or maybe experience in other places, just to try to be re-inspired? Or how is it for you at this time, with being in at such a young age all the way up to this point now? Would you say that you're still as inspired then as you are now, or you have to try to tap in to get that inspiration?
I think I am equally, if not more, inspired now. And here's why, is because in life, as you're gaining all of these experiences, the good ones and the bad ones, they're going into the little computer up here. And
Right.
how I can now apply those experiences, what I've learned from those experiences, to what I'm doing now, has everything to do with how I want my future to look. So here's a great example of what's happening to me right now.
Okay.
As I mentioned to you, briefly, we touched on the fact that I performed the song "The Finish Line" on for this television show, which I'm now going to be a cast member of, Art Confidential. Everybody go check it out. It is a television show about the art world.
That's dope.
It's super cool, and it's affiliated with the Winslavin Galleries here in Los Angeles. They've got one on Rodeo Drive, and they've got another one in Santa Monica, and another one in Shanghai. And just to give you an idea, they have Picassos, they have Salvador Dali's, they have Boteros, they have the biggest master artists in the world, including Daniel Wynn, who is the jewel in their crown, and his collections are there. Anyway, he was unveiling some of his sculptures that are being used as an awards at an award show, and I performed the song "The Finish Line."
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's going to go out to between all the different things we have, I believe close to 200 million households. And what's so amazing about this is that they said the producer of this TV show, she learned about me through, I was on a magazine cover, a Claire magazine, and inside the magazine they had they'd published my paintings, which I had done. A lot of these paintings were done when I was a teenager, you know, from 18 to 22, about there. And so they had published a bunch of my oil paintings. And she approached me and said, I had no idea. Her name is Jessie Amundi. She is a brilliant TV and movie producer. She does movies with Al Pacino, for example, just absolutely brilliant. And she said, I didn't realize you were a painter. I knew you were modeling. I knew you just, you know, were a musician and a singer. Everyone knows about the Lady Gaga thing. I had no idea that you were a painter. I said, well, that's really, I've spent some time in my life doing that. And now she said, I would like to have you on the show and attempt to have you getting signed to Win Slavin Gallery. They only represent 12 modern artists. Everyone else is Picasso. It's, you know,
right.
And so I said, oh my God, I couldn't even believe it. I was so thrilled and honored. So as a part of that, she said, here we're having this big launch event. Have you written any songs lately? Of course, I said, of course. I just wrote a song on, you know, Sunday. What's it called? Oh, it's The Finish Line. Here's like a rough demo. She said, great. We'd love for you to perform it at this big unveiling. Yes. Now, you know, it's part of this television show where I am going to be vying to become signed as a painter to this art gallery, the Win Slavin Gallery, on this television show, Art Confidential, where I'm singing my songs, stuff I'm producing. So it's literally a platform that exposes all of me. And it's such a wide platform that I'm so inspired and grateful by it. And not to mention, one of the things that I'd been working on, especially during the pandemic, while studios were closed, touring had stopped, I created a beauty company with one of my best friends from the music business, Lars Jensen.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, it's called.
It's called Marvelux Beauty.
It's a French word. It's called Merveilleux. Merveilleux Beauty, and we create custom skincare, makeup, and fragrance lines for celebrities and social media influencers, and it's their brand. And so we bring their vision to life. And so all of these lessons that I learned in brand building from building the brand of Lady Gaga, I've been able to apply in this business. So for example, during the pandemic, I was fortunate and privileged enough to have our company sign Iggy Azalea, who has...
Oh, are you serious?
I am serious. And she has over 50 million followers. We created an out-of-this-world fragrance for her called Devil's Advocate. If people go to parfumdazalea.com, they will be able to pick it up. Maybe we can leave a link for people to go there. Yes. She's got a billboard on Hollywood and Highland, and the response has been absolutely incredible. And so all of the ways in which we, you know, all of the things that I learned from my experience in working with Lady Gaga and building that brand, and even in my own career, now building my my own career as a singer, as a painter, as a, a songwriter, all of this is sort of coming to fruition at this point, and this chapter is the best one yet.
You know what? Like, just listening to all of this, it's just so much inspiration.
Oh,
You know what I
thank
mean? Because it's like here you are going from, being a teenager, not really having a clue, but having a will,
Yeah.
and hearing all of these amazing things um, come to fruition. Just hearing this, it's just like it's unbelievable. It's so amazing, and I know you have to feel absolutely blessed.
I do feel blessed, and I feel so lucky that I keep learning, because
Mhm.
the fact is we met, like, not to get all too deep on you here,
It's
but
a vibe show now. It's not too deep. We here. Come on, man. We here.
whatever your energy is, and we are all made of energy.
Yeah.
Whatever your vibration, the vibe show,
Right.
whatever your vibration is, whatever energy you are sending out into the universe, you are going to match that. And although there are going to be challenges and people who don't match your vibration, you're, at least I've learned to try to elevate myself and remove the distractions in my life
Right.
that have taken me off course or have taken me to a place where it's very easy not to believe in yourself sometimes.
I
You can
know.
have all the accomplishments in the world, but some crass remark or some person who is competitive or misguided or whatever the case may be, to find a place where you are absolutely adamant about protecting your energy, so that you can match the community around you, your army that's fighting for you to
Right.
win, that
Right.
you can build that. And I feel that that is one of the most incredible parts of my life that is also happening right now, that the people who are entering my life, the people I've surrounded myself with, are just some of the best people in the world. So I'm truly grateful for that.
Absolutely. That's just amazing. What would you say has been the biggest challenge for you thus far? Let's go this year. I know COVID and all of that. On a personal level, what would you say has been the most challenging thing for you?
Well, I think it's so interesting that the last question sort of led right into it. And it's about, I am a person who loves to say yes. I
Right.
love to make things work. I am a peacemaker. I'm somebody who's highly non confrontational. And through the lessons, particularly lessons in the music business, those are the ones that have helped me the most in. Like I said before, creating healthy boundaries, guarding my energy to
Right.
attract the right people into my life, because there have been some awful people in my life. Let's just put it, there have been some people who are, takers. There have been people who have, wanted to be malicious, who've wanted to wrong me, have wanted to see me fail. And I don't think that I'm anything special. I think a lot of the people everywhere in the world experience that. But
Absolutely.
the antidote to that is by really loving yourself enough to keep healthy boundaries and to surround yourself with people who truly have your best interest at heart. And I think that that has been one of the biggest personal challenges that I've had to address in my life, and
Right.
also has been the greatest solution as soon as I had the balls, for lack of a better word, to actually execute on that and be like, hey, guy, this needs to change, this needs to shift, and this is where I'm headed. And it's not so easy because you want to please people and you want to be friends and be close and whatever the
Spread the
case may
love. I mean, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it does get difficult at times to where you have to it gets to a point where you have to guard that energy, because we give so much of it out and so much of it's abused, but quite frankly, honestly, everybody doesn't deserve your energy like that. You know what
That's
I
right.
mean? So I definitely get you on that. Um, what would you say out of all of your years has been because you're the wildest celebrity moment for you, like fan moment, like out or whatever? Like, can you give us a story?
Ooh, so a moment where one of my fans was the
No, oh my God, Wendy Starland. Oh my God.
okay. That's a funny question. I my biggest fan moment was I was on vacation uh, a long time ago, and this was I had a single that was released, and it went to number one in Japan.
Oh, wow.
And I was on a yacht that was coming in to be docked, and right next to us was another yacht filled with Japanese tourists. And as soon as I got off onto the dock, they all came running after me.
Are
Wendy,
you
Wendy, you need
serious?
my yeah, that was definitely the craziest moment. And my friend who I was with was like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh, I released a song. It wasn't released in the U.S." So, but anyway, having all those, I mean, it was a lot of people who ran off the boat to to have a flurry of fans. So that was a great moment. Another, I'd say touring in Europe. I had a number 8 single with my song "Dancing with the Sea" that was released on
I love that song.
Universal.
Yeah.
That song, thank you. That song was I was blessed to have that song honored by the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
that I, wrote and produced, and did that with Jack Livesey, who's an incredible talent. And after touring with that song all over Europe for years, and getting to perform to throngs of people, I mean, it's just when you're on that stage, and that song was never released in the US. So,
Wow. That's amazing.
like, "Hey, mom, I released this song and I performed to, between 10 and 20,000 people tonight." She's like, "Really?"
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And to have all these faces singing back my song and throwing their arms in the air, and um, it was an incredible high. And all the things that go with touring, and those are amazing moments. Having a different song where one of my fans was going through cancer,
Yeah.
and they had to have a surgery, and going into surgery they put my song in their headphones to listen, to try to soothe them going into surgery and help them to believe in themselves. So
That's deep.
these are the moments that
Yeah.
I live for, and I'm hoping we'll have a similar response with the finish line.
Right. Right. Absolutely. It totally will. It totally will. I
Thank
assure you of that. You know, another one of the things that I really admire about you, even with being on the level that you're on, in your life and in your career, I like the fact that you're still humble and you still connect with people, like people who show your fans and people that support you. You really show love back, and that's a rarity. Even on the level that you're on, it's really a rarity, and I feel like it definitely puts you in that special category. And it's one of the things that I really, really value and appreciate amongst all of the other great things that you do. But as a human being, I really think, that's super dope about you. Like you, every time I know when you're busy, everybody knows you're off the scene. When you're on the scene, you're going to show love.
Thank
How
you.
important is that for you? Like, because I really, really appreciate that about you. Like, how important is it for you to try to, hit up those fans that actually took time out of their day to
Right.
actually not only like the stuff that you've posted or your songs or your modeling pictures or whatever you're posting, but took time to even write a message to you. That's a
Yeah.
lot in this day and time. And I notice you always catch up and show love. Like, hey, thanks, God, thank you. Whatever. How important is it for you, no matter how successful or how much more higher you go or you fly? How important is it for you to still touch the people?
It's everything. I mean, listen, without these people, there is no career, right? I mean, these people are responsible for my journey, and I am so eternally grateful to them for being in touch and caring enough to like or leave a comment and engage with me at the level in which they do, and to share their experiences, because this is how I know that it's resonating. And that resonates with me, and that's important to me, to let me know that I'm doing my job well.
Right.
And so being able to focus on, you know, how you're affecting people. We're what I forgot who said this quote, but we're writing our legacies every day.
Every day.
Every single day you're writing your legacy, and what story are you going to tell? How
Right.
do you want your movie to turn out?
Right.
Do you want your movie to be one that's like, oh, I did this, and it didn't really matter to anyone, including myself? Or do you want to live a life of impact and purpose? And I talk about this all the time. It's so important to me to live a life that is very highly purposeful. I always said, I want to live an inspired life. I want to be inspired by the music and the food and the romance and all of it. I want the travel and the stories. I want colorful people and colorful stories as a big part of my life, and I think that it's happening. It's unfolding day by day.
Yeah, it's definitely happening, and that answered that answered my next question. I was going to ask you how you wanted to be remembered, and that pretty much tied that in. I like how it's all flowing. You know what I mean?
It
Like
is. We
it's,
are in the zone. We're on the vibe show.
we on a vibe show. I mean, I keep trying to tell them that they don't know they don't know what we got going on over here. Look, to let's take a moment to give some people their flowers. Your staff, family. Let's give some shout outs, man, to your fans. Anybody that you want to show love to or whatever, and shout out. Let's go on and give them their flowers.
Oh, thank you. There are so many people I'd love to shout out to. Certainly my label. I am working with Handsome Soul Records / Thump Records / Virgin / Universal Music Group. It's a whole slew of labels put together. There's Sal and Danny and Tim and Bill. I'm grateful to all of you. I am super grateful to Jesse Amundi at Art Confidential and Daniel Wynn, who have done an incredible job, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the cast. With my modeling, I'm incredibly grateful to Darwin World Media and Chica, my photographer who works with me on almost all my magazine covers and campaigns, and Chica, who does the hair and makeup. And I'm insanely grateful to my family and friends, and I happen to be dating an incredible person right now named Chris Voss, who is the nation's #1 top negotiator and is saving the world and in so many ways. And I'm grateful for it all.
Right, right, absolutely. What can we look forward to? I know you got some stuff coming up. What can we look forward to? Anything you can share with us? New projects, things we can actually look forward to coming up. Because I know we got the new single, "The Finish Line," out right now on all
Yes.
platforms. You guys
Go
can
get
get
it on
that
iTunes, please.
everywhere.
Download
Please
it.
go and get that. You
Yes.
guys, right now, you guys go get that, please. You would not be disappointed. It's definitely a heartfelt song. I love that song. And it's getting good reviews and good response from your fans and everything. So you guys, if you have not got that single, please go and download that single right now, "The Finish
We will
Line."
leave a link below.
Yeah, absolutely. And can they get that? They can actually get it from the website as well, right?
They can get it on website, but
That's
I'd
right.
say probably easiest right on iTunes. Grab it on iTunes. Wendy Starland, "The Finish Line." Couldn't be more excited about it.
Right, right. And what can we look forward to? I know you got more projects. I know you got the TV show.
Are
We got
confidential. You'll be able to hear me performing the song live, hearing me perform "The Finish Line" live on with Danny Byrne, who's accompanying me on guitar, and we performed that live, and that will be airing shortly. I'll be able to post dates and air times for everyone to check it out.
Absolutely. Let's put the social platforms out there and any other ways that people can actually connect with you for anything. Just to, they might want to get some inspiration or maybe want to talk to you about trying to the best route or the best path to try to get in this business or to be a songwriter or a producer or try to attempt to wear any of the hats that you wear. Where could they get in touch with you at?
I would say I am most active on Instagram and just at Wendy Starland, that you have displayed on the screen, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much. You can find me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but I'm most active on Instagram right now. And I would love it, on YouTube, check out "The Finish Line." But if you want to get a hold of me, the best way to reach me is usually in one of the comments under one of my posts and tell me, "Oh, I'm sending you a DM about this," and I'll go in to check it because my inbox gets flooded, and so I want to be able to see it.
I was happy I was able to get through. Get through. Like, man, finally.
Me too. Thank you.
That is so great. Yeah. I'm just super thankful. Before we close, anything that for anybody that may be going through a tough time, may be low in spirit, just need some words of uplift or encouragement. Is it any warm words that you could leave them with just to lift their spirits up?
Absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite phrases is "fall down 7 times, get up 8," or "knock down 7 times, get up 8." And the truth is that if you look back on your life, on anyone's life is cyclical.
Right.
And every time we're sitting at the bottom thinking, "Oh my God, could it get any worse?" It always comes back around. It's always teaching you something. And again, I believe in the universe tests us to see if we're ready to level up. So when we go through these challenges, is the universe saying, excuse me, "Wendy, you think you're ready for the big leagues? Okay, let me give you some big league problems to handle."
Oh, wow.
And let's see if you can handle them. Because without, what I always say is that the yin and the yang is the perfect symbol. There's always darkness inside the light and light inside the darkness. And it's never pure either way. There's never any like perfect moment that doesn't have some sort of difficulty attached, and vice versa.
Right.
So it's reminding yourself that in that moment, that if you are going through difficulty and if you are going through strife, or being picked on or being, diminished in any kind of way, realize that this too shall pass. It is temporary, and you've got what it takes to overcome it. And by overcoming it is the way in which you're going to prove and signal to the universe that you are absolutely capable of leveling up.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's deep. That's deep. Now that you got me with that one. Like that, I received that. I received that because you work a lot, and we're doing so much and chasing after these goals, and even within all of that and the accomplishments and stuff like that, there are those moments where you do get down in spirit. We're not invincible from those moments, or maybe having a few doubts about certain things because it may be taking the expectation, maybe taking a little bit longer, or it might be looking like it might not. I experience that sometimes myself. So I really, really appreciate that, Wendy. I really, really do.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and what an incredible experience this has been on this interview. Thank you so much for having me. I love the Vibe Show, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. From me, the Vibe team, Vibe Promotions, Vibe One, we want to thank you so much, and we want to wish you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now and everything that you're going to be doing in the future. Wendy, we love you.
Oh, thank you. Love you guys. Mwah.
Absolutely.
Soon.
Oh, you already know. Whenever you are a part of this family now, so whenever you're doing your media runs or whatever you're promoting, whatever you have going on, just let me know and come on back on here and let's promote it. Let's do it big. Let's do what we got to do.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest, the one and only. We love her. We absolutely love her. I'm talking about the one and only Wendy Starland. We are out of here. Listen, shout out to everybody that was on, showing my special guest so much love. We really, really appreciate you guys so much. If you are not subscribed to the Vibe Show after this interview, what are you doing? It's amazing. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Please, we could use some love. We love y'all so much. If you are not following the Vibe Show radio station, you guys can go and follow us on Instagram as well. That's the Vibe Show 97.9 FM. And if you are not tuned in to our radio station, shame on you. You guys log on right now to www.thevibeshow97.9.net. Y'all go check us out. We got music playing 24/7. Hey, and you'll be able to hear that new Finish Line by Wendy Starland, which we'll have in heavy rotation. You guys make sure y'all get in the mix. Rush over there to the App Store as well. Yes, we are in the App Store, and download that Vibe Show 97.9 exclusive mobile app. Get connected. I'm Kano the Don. That's my sis Wendy Starland. We are out of here. You guys make sure y'all have a blessed rest of the evening. Be safe. Take care of yourself. We love y'all. Until next time, it's the Vibe Show.
Let's go. Let's go. New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, you tell me shit I feel so wrong for things I'm setting this